difficulties. Apparently, the Bluetooth did not want to answer the phone, even though the phone was answered.
Yep.
So I don't know what happened there, but those who are not that don't know Amaiya, you're gonna know Amaiya after today. Amaiya is young, up and coming. Just had her first matches recently, and we're gonna find out right now why you decided to become a professional wrestler. Tell us how this all, like, how it all happened.
Okay, I love telling this story every time someone asks me. As a kid, I grew up watching it, and I used to hate it when I was a kid. But in 2005, Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans, and I had to evacuate to Texas. And every time I would put the TV on, that was the only thing that was on, was wrestling. So I said to myself, maybe this is something that I should do with my life. And I stuck with it all this time. So when I made 20 years old, I decided to sign up at Wildcat. And ever since then, my life has been amazing, and I am very grateful to even be in this position right now to wrestle.
Right.
So that's how it came about.
That's a different story. That's a different...
Turning a negative into a positive like that.
You turned a negative feeling into something very positive.
Yes.
That's definitely a different angle of getting into the business. Now, I know from my being friends with you on Facebook that I'm figuring one of your biggest inspirations is the Snuka family, Hall of Famer Jimmy Snuka and his daughter Tamina. Tell me kind of how that all unraveled and you officially got to meet her as well.
I became a fan of hers when she first debuted in 2010 at Raw, and I just love her attitude and her style, and that's how she became one of my favorites, and I started looking up to her, and ever since then I've just been watching her, trying to take little parts of her matches and just try to make it into my own. And I met her last year at WrestleMania Fan Access, and I cried, of course, because I was just so excited. And ever since then, you know, we kept in touch on Twitter, and she knows that I'm a huge fan of hers, huge supporter of hers. Yeah, so they're amazing group of people.
So you got officially, I guess you could say you met your hero.
Yes.
That's that, and it's there's no shame in crying because there's always that video out there. Anytime anyone wants to make fun of you and say that you were crying, AJ Lee hysterical crying when she met Lita. Yep. So
yeah,
it happens, you know, and you know.
She was actually there when it happened. She was sitting next to her.
There you go.
There you go. Boom.
Lita was probably like, oh no, not again. But I mean, I've had instances where I've met wrestlers that I, you know,
get tongue tied with.
Yeah, I mean, two of them in particular, Rosita and Caitlyn.
Yeah.
I can't even spit out a full sentence when they're in front of me. I just turn into like this big stumbling idiot. And you know, I got the pleasure of meeting Macho Man Randy Savage early in his career when he was a resident of Staten Island, and I got to meet him a couple times. So I was, you know, happy now, you know, that he's not with us anymore, that I got to meet him. And so I know you're feeling, you know, about stuff like that. And so you just recently had your debut match. So walk us through that. Tell us how that went.
Man, that was amazing. I had the biggest adrenaline rush ever. When my tag team partner, Katie Forbes, tagged me in for the finish, I was just so hyped. I climbed to that top rope, and when I went for the splash, like, my whole world just started spinning in a good way. Like, we trained so hard for this, and just to have that moment was amazing.
I heard the fans, they were chanting your name, and then as soon as you got tagged in, the fans will, like, go, you know, chant and go climb the ropes, go to the top. I mean, you just heard like random, you know, it was somebody with a camera in the crowd, so you heard like random people yelling, like, you know, get to the top rope, climb, jump, come on, Amaiya, you know, and
yeah, they were very loud.
It was a roar when she landed. It was like a roar from the crowd, and I don't know how many were there, but it was whatever section that camera was in, it was loud. And she got the pinfall victory.
There you go.
And who did you take on in that match?
We went against ROW girls and Ricky Starks.
Okay.
And I actually pinned Ricky Starks, so that was exciting. I got to pin a guy. So, girl power.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. I mean, last night I was part of Warriors, a wrestling show, and Jessie Brooks, Bonso Jessie Brooks, she was in an intergender match, and she took a little bit of a beat and a couple bumps at the end, but she's one of those that can go in and handle herself against anybody. Just ask Darius Carter, because he got thrown around a couple times. But I just a lot of people are how come you don't have women's wrestling? Intergender matches work if they're done properly. I'm not saying have Amaiya take on Rhino, but if Amaiya's taking on somebody that's similar build and speed and athleticism, it could be a very, very good match regardless of gender. So where do you see yourself going now? You got your first match out of the way, and you're still obviously training with Wildcat, and where do you see yourself going now?
And from that point, March 20th, from my first match, that point on, I see myself going all the way to the top. I know people say this a lot, but I have that will and that power to do so. I am very focused. I hate taking days off from training because I love to be in the ring. So as high as I can go, that's as far as I want to go. I'm going to go all the way to the top. People just got to wait and see.
I like the attitude.
Yeah.
I mean, I think everybody in this world in general needs to have that attitude going towards their goals, not settling for anything but the best. Just keep striving forward and and going after what you want. I mean, that's what everybody needs to do.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, everybody should have goals. I mean, you should never. I mean, I have daily goals. Every day I set myself a plan for the day. I'm like, all right, I want to make sure I do this, I do that, and then at the end of the day, I kind of feel accomplished. And if I don't do it, I feel like I didn't get things accomplished. And now, but you're talking career goals.
Yeah, but it's not with you. It's not even like you just have goals. Like some people just have goals and they don't work towards them. You're busting your butt every single day in the ring, in the gym, to go after those goals that you set for yourself, which I think is awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Who, if you don't mind, let's ask who's the head trainer over there at Wildcat?
The head trainer is Luke Hawk.
Okay. Now we had a guest on the show. Used to be the referee. Was it Wes? Do you have is there anybody that works for Wildcat trainer wise or behind the scenes that used to work as a referee and a wrestler for WWE?
Not that I know of.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Unless he laughed or something, but I remember he was part of Wild, and it's only one company called Wildcat.
Yeah, Wildcat Sports.
Yeah, sports and entertainment. Could have.
Kev's blanking.
Yeah. I'm blanking, but so what's your next match coming up? And who you taking on?
My next match is May 2nd in Alabama at Combat Sport Pro.
Okay, so it's a different company.
Yes, it's a different company.
Okay, and you're based out of where?
New Orleans.
New Orleans. Okay, so now, because again, let's say that people don't know, because I don't know. I'm not familiar with New Orleans. Has anybody come recently, or that you know of, have come in or come out of any of those companies that people might have heard of?
Like the companies out here, the wrestling companies out here.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I know one of the guys. He had a contract with NXT, I believe.
Okay.
And I don't know what happened with that. I just heard that at the Wildcat show was an interview where Booker T messed that up. So he's definitely got to get back to that. Yeah, that was on an interview.
Five times. Well, now 6 times. It doesn't sound as funny when he says 6 times. Yeah. So, coming up in the near future with you and yourself, and now, do you see yourself strictly as a singles competitor, or did you enjoy the tag team ranks? Like, where do you see your strength?
Tag teaming is very fun, but I see myself as solo wrestler, which I can make a huge impact with that because of my background. I have a boxing background and a karate background. I'm a Golden Gloves champion and a world champion, and I can use that aspect in a match with any opponent. So I think I'm ready for a solo.
So you're a very dangerous weapon. So is what you're saying. So it's like
my opponent. When my opponent enters the ring, they have two options. They can either get out or get knocked out. That's their choice.
I like it.
Oh, I like it. That's a perfect T-shirt.
Definitely.
That is a perfect shirt. That is an awesome shirt.
That is.
It should, like, the front should say, like, you have two options, and then on the back it'll say 1 get out, 2 get knocked out.
That's pretty good. I have a question real quick. With your boxing and your karate background, you obviously saw wrestling as an avenue which you could go on. Why did you go towards wrestling and not something like mixed martial arts, which could have possibly been an avenue for you as well with your boxing and karate background?
Well, I started boxing just to hold off until I started wrestling because I couldn't start wrestling at the time. So boxing was just something I did for fun.
Gotcha.
And I just started competing, but wrestling is definitely my first love. I have no interest in making a career out of boxing or martial arts.
Gotcha.
Another question. Do you have any hobbies that don't include hurting people?
My hobby, I like cooking and making people laugh. I consider making people laugh as a hobby for me.
There you go.
Because I've been doing that my whole life, like in class, being a class clown. That's definitely a hobby.
You soften them up right before you punch them out. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
We can say that.
Yeah, and then the night before she fattens them up so they can't get out of the way. Yeah, I see how it is. You fatten them up the night before so they can't move, and the next day you get them all laughing, and then you knock them out. I see how you work.
Boom. One hit a quitter.
Got a whole plan lined up.
Yeah, that's sneaky. I mean, that's good. She can cook, and if anybody doesn't like her cooking, she can punch them out.
Yeah. I would be the last person to tell you I didn't like your cooking.
Yeah,
so.
I'm not going to say it.
1, I love food, and 2, I don't feel like getting punched now.
It's a different style of food. You're down in Nolans, and you got a lot of Creole and seafood and.
It's my favorite.
I want to go down there just for the food. Like, everybody wants to go down there for Mardi Gras and all that stuff. I don't. I want to go down there to eat.
Give me some good food and some good beer, and I am in heaven.
Yeah, I definitely. Yeah, I'm definitely. Yeah, I'm not the food part. I'm not so much into the beer, but you give me a plate of like crawfish and rice and like some Diet Cokes. I'm good.
All right, you guys are really getting me hungry right now. So.
Too bad we can't have her mail us food. I don't think that's...
Yeah, is that possible? Can you just mail us just a giant gourmet dinner? Is that possible?
I have to freeze it, and y'all have to unfreeze.
Yeah, we got like dry... We have to send her money for dry ice. I can just see doing a live broadcast and just food falling out of her face. Yeah, that's good.
With your goals going forward, who is somebody that you would love to have a match with besides Tamina, obviously?
I was just about to say that, Tamina.
if it was besides Tamina, who would you love to have a match with?
I would love to have a one-on-one match with Barbie Hayden. She is phenomenal in the ring.
Barbie Hayden?
Yeah, I just had a
Yeah, she's gonna be a guest in 3 weeks.
Oh, awesome.
Yep, former NWA Women's Champion.
We'll pass that along and see if she accepts.
Yeah. Yeah, we've
tell her about my knockout punches though.
We've had a lot of people ask us to pass along messages in the past. I had we had King Shane. Why can't I remember names?
Yeah.
But King Shane, he told us to talk some trash to Jerry Lawler when we met Jerry Lawler, and Jerry wanted no part of that. So. He was just like, yeah, okay, whatever. I know that guy. But Shane Williams, that was it. King Shane Williams. Oh my God, I'm terrible with names today. Whew. So, what did you give your finishing move? Did you give it an official name?
Not yet.
Not yet.
We were talking about finishing moves before, so
Yeah, I mean everybody's got their name, so we're just gonna go with the Amaiya Splash for now, I guess.